This is all so good. This is great.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Last time on Click Church. We talked about white Jesus, and it turns out there might have been some things that I might have gotten a little wrong or missed a couple details. Luckily, Mar, who's an art history instructor, was nice enough to reach out to me on Reddit and get on a Zoom call with me to talk about some of the details I missed and a lot about the history of Jesus art. So, yeah. Here's our Zoom call.
In the ancient world, skin color was sort of like incidental. No one cared about it that much. They cared a lot, though, about facial hair, which I was going to comment on your video. That was a funny thing that you put in yours. But I think early colonizers from like Spain and Portugal were purposely creating like religious imagery that kind of went with what they were looking for in the native population. That's also why they would send like priests that were linguists so that they could learn whatever the native language was and then make the Bible in it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the earliest New World Bibles, you know, are like there's one in Nahuatl, which is the Aztec language. And that's just because they were trying to convert everybody. So they would purposely do this thing and create a syncretic belief system. So that means it's like a synthesis of an old native belief system and like a Christian one. And I think that's why in Catholicism, saints are really important. In Mexico, a cool thing is the Virgin of Guadalupe, she is an
archeropoietos.
So she's like painted by a holy hand, you know?
Yeah.
And she is actually probably Tonantzin, which is like a Nahuatl mother, like mother goddess.
Yeah.
So they made her purposely with all this imagery that corresponds with Tonantzin, like the cloak made of stars. And then she's also sitting on like a moon, I think. And then the other thing is the whole miracle with her happened to a Nahuatl speaker who was like not educated and stuff. So that's another like kind of part of the syncretism that occurs, like involving people that are maybe not the elite. And then I think that white Jesus, like the one that you showed, that's really good in the video because it does show how like arbitrary it is. So this one I'm showing you is you can't really see his face. So it's a carved wooden door, which is also interesting because a lot of it that's older is like not earthy.
Yeah,
so
that's
I guess
cool.
he technically has dark skin because it's carved out of really dark wood.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that when Jesus is portrayed as a king, he's like Zeus, which is totally true. But before that, he was portrayed like a shepherd. But that also has like a classical roots.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's this guy, the Muscophorus. So that means calf bearer. So Greek art has like levels. This is like the medium level called archaic. And the way you know it's archaic Greek is this like dumb smile. It's called archaic smile. And like all their sculptures have this weird smile. And I think it's because like actually Greek sculpture is an offshoot of Egyptian sculpture, which is very canonical. So that means it follows rules. Oh, you had said schools. When they do evangelization, they do schools. And you know, the reason you couldn't find a picture of that is because it doesn't mean like a class, like a school.
Oh, okay.
It means like a canon, like a school. It's rules, not like a class. These actually initially started out as tomb markers. So this was like representative of a real person, even though it doesn't look like one, but you can see that color is like pictures of Jesus as a shepherd too, right? Why would you create a whole new type of art to convey a whole new type of image?
And all this is before we even get into modern day. We'll be looking more at how Jesus art evolved throughout the years over a couple different videos, so look forward to those. So subscribe if you want, but also you don't have to.